Democratic innovation, new forms of participation. Citizens' assemblies, a new democratic trend. In recent decades, many observers, including European citizens, politicians, and experts, have argued that European democracy seems to be in a crisis. Representative democracy, as we know it, based on parliaments, voting, and a government, opposition dynamic, appears too many as far away from the ordinary lives of citizens. In many ways, representative democracy is said to be in crisis due to voter abstention, the rise of populist and radical right parties, and the manipulation of knowledge in the form of fake news and social media biases. One promising way of trying to reinvigorate democracy is by allowing for new forms of participation. This brings politics closer to the ordinary people, may allow them to express their concerns, and may even involve an influence on decision making. In order to address the crisis of democracy, many experiments at innovating democracy have been tried out. Many attempts of making democracy work better have been tried. One way of making democracy more relevant for ordinary citizens is so-called participatory budgeting, where citizens co-decide how local public money is being spent. Other tools include the usage of referendums or public consultations with citizens. A new trend, perhaps also more relevant for the European Union and surely also for national democracies, is the recent interest in assemblies made up of citizens, also known as mini-publics. This recent trend actually goes back a very long way, being inspired not least by the democratic processes in the ancient Greek city-states of polis. Citizens' assemblies are an exciting way of linking people with institutions, as any citizen may potentially be selected, and once selected, citizens become part of a series of discussions on specific policies, such as how people think the environment can be best safeguarded or how migration can be best regulated, but also on more ethic issues, such as euthanasia. In some cases, assemblies are used to, in a way, kickstart a community, as happened in Ireland after its economic meltdown in 2009, or as with the more recent European Conference on the Future of Europe. Citizens' assemblies are interesting experiments, as they put ordinary citizens in the center, value the capacities of citizens to come up with ideas and solutions, and they do so in a process in which deliberation is the main way of coming to recommendations and solutions. These group discussions guarantee that all participants may speak and all are to be listened to. Moreover, in these assemblies, citizens learn a lot about a specific topic, so in the best of cases, they turn into real experts on a specific theme. What is further attractive is that there is neither place for vested interests and lobbies in citizens' assemblies, nor is there for pop politics as usual, that is the bargaining and short political conflict that often characterizes parliamentary politics. Rather, the purpose is to learn together and to understand better different, sometimes contrasting points of view. In fact, the European Union and the European Commission in particular have in recent years organized various participatory events in which citizens play a central role, and the Commission seems to continue to organize such events. The Conference on the Future of Europe. One major and first transnational citizens' assembly was the Conference on the Future of Europe, held between 2021 and 2022. Originally, it was supposed to last 2 years, but due to the pandemic and a number of other hiccups, such as difficulties with finding consensus on who should lead to the event, the conference was delayed and shortened to 1 year. The Conference on the Future of Europe was originally put forward in 20 2019, originating in an idea of the French President Macron. France and Germany suggested a strong involvement of our citizens and a bottom-up process, with EU-wide participation of our citizens on all issues discussed. The Conference on the Future of Europe was then adopted by the von der Leyen Commission, which also put strong emphasis on the involvement of citizens, civil society, the European institutions as equal partners. The conference was an attempt to re-legitimize the European Union, as the EU has faced increasing distrust among citizens in recent years. The process was initiated by the European Union institutions. The conference involved innovative, multilingual, multi-level forms of citizen participation, a digital platform, various citizens panels, and a final plenary. In particular, the 4 citizens panels with 800 randomly selected European citizens and notably with a quota of 1/3 of young people formed the core of the process. The 4 panels discussed a wide range of themes, including democracy, the rule of law, Europe in the world, migration, and the environment, in 3 weekend meetings, 2 in presence, 1 online, at the end of 2021 and in early 2022. The deliberations led to 178 recommendations discussed in the plenary of the conference, which was made up of members of the European Parliament, the Commission, the Council, national parliamentarians, civil society representatives, as well as 80 ambassadors, citizens that represent the citizens' panels, and 27 participants of national panels. The final report, adopted on the 9th of May 2022, put forward 49 proposals with 326 concrete measures. The Commission's European Citizens Panels. The European Commission, also as a continuation of the Conference on the Future of Europe, has created a new generation European Citizens Panels. The original idea was to hold these panels annually in relation to specific policy areas and key proposals in the Commission's work program, and allow citizens to express their views in early stages of their policymaking process. By early 2023, 3 European citizens panels had been set up, dealing with the topics of food waste, virtual worlds, and learning mobility. Subsequent panels deal with hatred in society and energy efficiency. In the context of Erasmus+, in particular, the European Citizens Panel on Learning Mobility is interesting. The European Commission held this panel on learning mobility in the spring of 2023 from the 3rd of March until the 30th of April. The panel took the form of a citizens' deliberative assembly, intended as a way of bringing Europe citizens closer to decision-making and to provide a platform for citizen participation. The panel on learning mobility contributed to preparatory work for a council recommendation on learning mobility and to informing the European Commission on the topic. 3 deliberative sessions were held, 2 in Brussels and 1 online. 142 randomly selected European citizens, with 1/3 of young people, debated on learning mobility and the general question how to make mobility accessible to everyone. Deliberations focused on the identification of target groups for learning mobility, as well as the discussion of challenges and obstacles to access learning mobility. The final session included the adoption of 21 final recommendations. These included a vehicular language, lingua franca, as a tool for learning mobility, expansion of existing learning mobility programs for people of all ages and socio-economic layers, enabling learning mobility for families, ambassadors for a more mobile Europe, for greener learning mobility, measures and activities to promote non-discrimination in learning mobility.